What's up, guys? So today back out here at the shop, and I've got the weight plate as you saw in the last video. And so today we're going to get it unloaded, get it sanded down, and start painting it, because we're going to get to that. Got our weight plate here. Alright, so I've got my Makita grinder here, and I just put a wire wheel on it. I'm just going to use the wire wheel and knock the mill scale off. Probably try to get some of this old paint off the traction bar. It looks like the traction bar's been painted a couple times, so do the bottom side first, and we'll flip it over and do the top side. Make sure you wear glasses and preferably like some pants or something, because like some of those pieces of wire came off, stabbed me in the leg. Just protect yourself. It can get dangerous. So I'm just going to use some brake cleaner and some shop towels. Now, if you were painting something really nice, I wouldn't advise using shop towels because they'll leave dust specks and whatnot. Use something better than a shop towel. But it'll work for this. It's just a weight plate, right? Look at that. Yuck. Filthy. Brake cleaner. A Mechanics wax and grease remover. Seriously though, look at this. Just from wiping that off with the brake cleaner. Pretty nasty. But now we're ready to put some primer on there. I've got Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. It's green. It'll work fine for this. Not doing a real heavy first coat. Also, I like to use the self-etching because it kind of digs itself into the metal. You don't have to sand it a ton. So it works pretty good. I decided to use some VHT Wrinkle Black to do the plate. I have some regular black paint, but I have almost a whole can of this that I'm probably never going to use, so I might as well use it right now. So I hung it up on my engine hoist. That way I could do both sides at the same time. This stuff's kind of slow drying. And it could just sit there and dry for a day or so. Alright, so the first coat's done. I didn't entirely coat it. You can still see some of the primer through it. So I'll let it sit there for, I think this can says recoat in 5 minutes. So those coats there were horizontal, so the next ones will be vertical. So now we'll do the second coat, and we'll go vertical. We'll let it dry, and I guess install it tomorrow. You know, on the back of the can it says that it takes 2 hours to air dry, but it says not to touch for 24 hours. So I guess we'll get that mounted up tomorrow. Flash forward to then. Alright guys, so it's the next day. We're out here back at the garage. The weight plate's had overnight to dry, and we're going to get her installed today. Wrinkle coat didn't come out the greatest. I don't really care. Still going to send it. You kind of see it here. See, some spots are shiny. They're not really wrinkly. And those spots kind of wrinkled. You're not really going to see this. So it's going to be covered for the most part. And no one will ever see it. So I don't really care. Even get a workout in. But little side to side. Let's see, I don't know why I did this. I thought I did pretty even coats, but apparently I didn't. Who knows? The battery I elected to go with OEM Honda battery. This is a 151 that is utilized for the Honda Fit. So I just went to my local Honda dealer and picked this up. It's a pretty small battery. It's got 340 cold cranking amps. Should be plenty for this. All right, so the more I looked at it, the more I decided I'd just go ahead and throw another coat of some Rust-Oleum on it. Regular old Rust-Oleum, at least try to make the coat sort of even. It's still got some wrinkle in places and no wrinkle in other places, so the coat's not perfectly glossy like it would have been if I had just, threw the gloss on it to begin with. Oh well. More layers of protection, right? So once that dries, I guess I'll give it today to dry, and then maybe tomorrow we can finish installing the battery. Like I said, I got that battery from Honda, and then we'll just wire in all of our terminals here, and then everything will just be right here on the corner. That'll put more weight over the nose of the car too, so that'd be a good thing. I guess tomorrow maybe we can get this battery installed. Who knows? But your boy got a fresh quarantine haircut. I cut it yesterday, just shaved it, and do about once a month. Quarantine don't really bother me getting the haircuts. Okay. I am my own barber, right? These spots on my head, well, that's from hitting it on my lift. Having to squat down and get up under there. I bump it on the edge. Skin's thin right here because I'm bald right here anyway, right? It'll heal up. This ain't from the razor. Don't be thinking your boy's gapping himself up, because that ain't how it happens. Still want your boys to not notice it. Also, check the shirt. So once we get this baby done, we'll be taking folks to Applebee's on the regular. Got my battery mounted. Now, it's not strapped down yet, but it's sitting up here, right? So I've still got to build a bracket to hold it. And then I just kind of got the wires on here right now. I'm probably going to put something over the ends just to try to insulate them a little more. I just don't like to open wires like that. Then I got to, zip tie them and get them neat and whatnot. Got the intercooler set back on there. Again, I just got the newspaper to keep it spaced evenly. And but I'm going to get some bosses put on these, and I've got some little brackets that I'm going to put between the weight plate and here that'll just bolt on, and it'll keep it even. And I'll do the same on the other end tank, but that'll hold the core support level with the weight plate. I ordered a catch can from Straight Line Motorsports. It's going to fit here, and then I got one vent hose here, and then the other one comes off. It goes under the intake manifold and comes here, so they'll go into the catch can side by side here. Also, we've got the fuel lines run. We've got our push lock hoses all mounted up. I flipped the booster back because I had it flipped before to where the port was going down with the B-Series. So I flipped it back up here to where I would have more clearance for my exhaust without having to worry about the booster hose coming too close to the exhaust. So I've got my push lock fittings on my wastegate. Got all the oil lines hooked up to the turbo, so she's getting close. Back on the interior here, like I know in the previous video we showed the 3 switches getting installed, so now they're all wired. So I know this isn't no fancy harness plate or nothing, or ECU plate, but I got the ECU mounted here. This is the cable that goes up to the port on the dash right here. All right. And then I've got my analog and digital wires coming out for wideband and the cluster. I got my 4 relays up here. These 2 on this side are fuel pump, then water pump, and fan. And so these right here is my positive. It's an insulated terminal. Comes from the battery up to here, and then it'll go up to the fuse box, which is up there. And then the orange wire goes down here and feeds this little fuse panel, which powers my relays. So this one works fuel pumps. This one works the water pump. And this one works the fan. Got all that wired up. I'm good to go on that front. And also we can see on the brake lines I got my little insulators, holders, whatever you want to call them, mounted down here. Alright guys, I know this video is kind of all over the place with painting the weight plate, getting the weight plate put on. So if you want to follow the all-wheel drive build and see where I'm going with it next, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. You know what to do, YouTube. I'm out.